Tips on why you need to let your engine or vehicle get to operating temperature before you begin to drive it. So first of all, in your motor, you have your cylinder and your piston. This is the majority, about 80% of where the heat actually comes from in a motor. Well, actually it comes from the gas, but this is where all the friction happens. Now the big key of why you need to let your engine warm up is because when metal is cold, it's very dense, and it actually shrinks when it's cold. So if you go ahead and start driving while it's cold, everything is not in its desired form. You know, metal heats. When it gets heated, it expands, and when it's cold, it shrinks. So if you're driving, it's not in that desired, form. So why is this bad? Well, it's bad because you're putting more RPM on the motor when you're driving, or revolutions per minute, and that is it damages it a little bit more over time because, it's not all in its designated form. So when an engine is operating, what heats up first is the piston. The piston is the one that is moving up and down, and typically the crown gets more hot because that's where oil doesn't go. So it's literally metal on metal, and that's the one that's moving, and then the cylinder walls heat up. So imagine, the walls are cold, but the piston, it gets warmer than those. So you don't want something hot and something cold moving together at fast or really fast operations. Because as that piston heats up and the cylinder walls slowly heat up, that piston it's literally getting squished, or it's tight in that cylinder until it heats up. So that's why you need to always let it get to operating temperature. Because while it's in the operating temperature cycle, it's not causing as much friction. It's going at the idle RPMs. That's very important to the engine life. And whenever you start operating it while it's cold, you go to about 2 to 3 times the idle RPM, or operation RPM, really. And also there's other factors such as the oil pump. It really depends on your oil weight, especially in heavier oils. That oil is very thick from being cold, so the pump has to work a little bit more until that oil works off, and it gets less viscosity in the oil. And there are many other things in the motor I can't think of on my head that also involve needing to be warmed up, but I can guarantee the cooling system, there's some stuff in there. But yes, it is important to take 5 to 10 minutes to let your engine warm up. I always let mine warm up just so I keep my motor pretty much happy and healthy. It's like heating up food. You don't want to eat cold food now. You want it nice and warm. You want it enjoyable. That's pretty much what you want to do with your motor. Anyways, y'all take care. If you need any advice, hit me up. Have a good day.